on, everybody? Another live show with the Original Sports Podcast and the Barbershop crew. But lately, I've been calling the BS crew because we're all full of BS as it is. Coach Watson, give him a shout out. What do you got going on?
Nothing's going on. Just looking forward to the show today, and let's get it going.
Yeah, I see. Racine got his pillbox on. He got a couple stars on there. Will he hand you those?
No, Manny Sanguian.
Manny San. Shit. Noobs, the beard looks a little longer than the last time I saw you.
Yeah, man, I'm fired up. Thank you for inviting me on with these guys, man. I'm honored.
You are a mainstay. Way to go, buddy. Youngie, what's Max up to today? I know he's into some kind of trouble chasing that girl Clarksburg.
Wrestling's over. He's full tilt, all girls for the next 2 weeks till the cross starts.
That door's just going to be revolving at your house, huh?
Yes, sir.
How about that story about the condoms? You want to share that one? I love that story.
I'm good about that, but thank God MCPS is providing those for free because I think you'd run out.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. Thank God for our employer. They're always looking out for mankind. I love that about them. Hey, I love to start the show with a little piece of your memorabilia that's most cherished to you. I'm going to start off by me. I told you guys, I think it was last time, about Rocky Blyer, doing a show with him. A few weeks later, he comes over here to a sports card store, and he signs some autographs. I take Vincent there, and we talked to him for a while, and he signs a shirt for Vince. Puts everything we need to know about Rocky's run through the Super Bowl years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, man, what a great guy he is. Can't believe how old he is and how he's still kicking it. But he is showing a little bit of the signs, a few blows to the head, though. I will say that. But he is still a great guy. He's got it together. Rasheen, go ahead, man. What do you got going on? It's got to be that hat.
It's definitely the Pirate hat. This represents the last time my Pirates were contenders every year. Not just here and there, but just about every year. We had Pops. We had the Cobras smoking that marijuana in the dugout. We had Madlock. We had everybody. You know what I mean? Al Oliver. We had everybody. You know what I mean?
Should the Cobra be in the Hall of Fame?
Heck, yes.
Give me on those batteries. He said here and there, here and there.
Here and there.
Here and there.
Yeah.
Love it.
His numbers are better than those guys they've let in recently. Who's the guy they let in this year? He's been playing the league for 25 years, and he has like 400 home runs. I mean, it was unbelievable when I looked at his numbers, and then I broke them down. God bless him for playing Major League Baseball and cashing a fat paycheck. But good God, those aren't Hall of Fame numbers to me. If you play 20 years, you should be able to hit 400 or 500 home runs.
Start rolling.
Power hitter. I mean, the Cobra did it all juiced up. His numbers are even better.
Smoking that marijuana.
Noobs, what'd you bring to the table today?
Oh, man. So I brought the helmet from when I coached in the Big 33.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
This is Maryland versus Pennsylvania. I'm sure you guys know about the Big 33. But I had all the kids got to sign it for me. So it was pretty neat. 2 years ago, got to coach in that game. I was supposed to coach in the COVID year, but COVID happened, so they wouldn't let us play that year.
Yeah,
Love that team too. But we had a great team, and then they ended up playing the year after.
it's a
When the last time y'all beat Pennsylvania?
Last time we beat Pennsylvania, that's a good question. I think it was.
Wait, that wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't my year, unfortunately.
Oh, God damn. Okay.
I got to play in it too, though. Back in the day, 1990.
Wow.
I played it.
Cool. Wow. Man.
So it's pretty cool.
They stopped that for a while, right? And then they brought it back.
They didn't stop it. They played Ohio. So
Okay.
they played Ohio, and Ohio really put it on them a few years in a row. And then they said, we've had enough of that. We'll go back to Maryland so we can kick their ass.
Yeah, somebody would wax that ass. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Young, what did you bring to the table tonight? I see you wearing a Penguins hat. Is that a Pens hat?
Yeah, but I got New Buzzer's terrible towel here. This year they were wiping away little tears, but I'm used to waving it.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I don't think people know the history behind it, what Myron Cope set out to do with it. And just the fact that he raised all that money for where his son went to, was placed in the hospital, and it took off. And I just, I appreciate the history behind it, but the fandom behind it now is just incredible.
Is it his son or his daughter? Is it his son?
His son.
Okay. I can never remember that.
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I never knew that.
That's exactly why he started it. Exactly. All right, Waddy, what do you got for us tonight?
Oh, I'm on the same thing with the new Bowser, except for I got my college one right here.
Nice.
Yeah, and I got this because of the word. There's a word for me. It's called opportunity. And if these guys here didn't give me the opportunity, I'd have never got the chance to play college ball.
Wow.
And forever grateful for working for, now, find MCPS, that's where it got me today. But okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Watson. I have 0 helmets from when I played.
Yeah, but the word opportunity. Hold on to that word because I'm going to address that word later.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the word of the night.
Yeah, for me it is. It is.
Word of the night. That's
yes.
a great thing.
Yes.
That's a great thing. All right, let's jump into this a little bit. I asked you guys to do a little news and notes on various divisions. Noobs, I gave you the West and the East, AFC. What do you got for us?
All right, man. So I'm going to start with the AFC West. We'll go with the champs, Kansas City Chiefs. So as we all know, they lost Eric Bieniemy. That's a whole nother topic. We could probably speak in a whole hour about that.
Yeah.
Bieniemy not getting a head job. But so they lost him. They promoted Matt Nagy as their offense coordinator. He's technically what's he called, the senior offensive assistant and quarterbacks coach to OC. So he's going to be the offense coordinator. The rumor is that he's going to be Andy Reid's replacement in the next 2 or 3 years.
They don't want that. He did shitty with the Bears.
And he's Andy Reid's puppet right now, just like, yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I like Nagy. He actually played at Delaware with my brother, Dave. So he and my brother Dave played. So I got to watch him play a lot in college. He was a really good quarterback, at least at that level. Good leadership, tough guy. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It was neat seeing him on the sidelines, with them in the Super Bowl.
I think he's a very football smart guy because as an offense coordinator, he's always been very successful.
Yep. We'll see how it goes. I could see him being just keep moving up the ladder.
How about the East?
So, the other one I had are we supposed to do 2 teams per?
No, you could do 1 team per each division.
Okay. So for the East, let's go with the Miami Dolphins. I thought it was interesting. They got Vic Fangio as their defense coordinator. Fangio, didn't do so well as a head coach, but as a DC, he is a keep it all in front of you guy. He runs a lot of quarters, quarter halves. Doesn't blitz a ton, but like his teams are bottom third in the NFL as far as blitz percentage. But I like the style that he runs. Forces the long throw, like takes away all the easy stuff inside. Forces you to throw the sidelines or deep, and then deep he's got help over the top. So I like what he does. Good scheme. He's been very good at, and it'll be interesting to see how he does with the Dolphins.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with their quarterback situation because I know Tagovailoa has been cleared, but man, he had a couple of brutal concussions. I mean, the next one could be very detrimental to that guy. I grabbed a couple notes too. The Jets brought in Derek Carr to take a look at Derek Carr.
Yeah.
The Jets are definitely shopping. There's no question about it. Yeah, there was that. In the West, have you taken a look, anybody, at the staff that Sean Payton's putting together in Denver?
Yes.
Shit, talk about an all-star staff. That is crazy. Like, he's got some kick-ass guys on that staff. Now it's a matter of making those big heads merge together and actually do something for them.
Like an XFL staff.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, T Sizzle, what do you got on the AFC North and South?
I think it's just the coaching carousel right now. It's all the moves are about, and to stick with that, I think it's going to be quite interesting what the Ravens do with this new OC Todd Monken, and coming from Georgia, the dynamic offense he had there. He helped resurrect the Browns with that running game in 2019 with Chubb and Hunt. What I've seen is that he's as good as anyone in the country. People are endorsing him with that and saying that he is able to adapt his scheme to his players, which will be extremely interesting to see what he does in helping Lamar maximize his skills to improve that play action and that arm talent that he supposedly has. But we haven't seen it yet. If we move to,
Hey, that's all well and good, but with Lamar asking for $200 million guaranteed, and we talked about this already, and them throwing cash on the table for Roquan, I think they tipped their hand the direction they want to go with this team. Yeah. I think they want to get back to, hey, let's go ahead and get somebody in there to manage the offense a little bit more and to stop them on defense. That's just my impression. $200 million is a boatload of freaking money to want guaranteed. That's a boatload, And I know those other guys like Kyler Murray and Shawn Watson. I know they're getting big guaranteed money, but
So wait, whoa. So Lamar hasn't proven it better than those two dudes?
You don't want me to answer that.
Answer it.
You want me to answer? What want me to answer? Okay. Here's his problem. He doesn't have the receivers in order to throw deep. 1. 2, they haven't allowed him to throw deep because of the offensive play call. So you don't know what he is. We don't have any idea of what he can actually do. Now, besides run the ball and get hurt.
Whoa.
That's like RG3. That reminds me of RG3.
I mean,
they don't win a lot?
Yeah, but they win. But what happens come playoff time? Because we know what really counts. We know what counts. What counts? What counts? Man. All
right, well.
I'm just saying.
I hear what you're saying.
I got nothing to RG3 though. Yeah, when RG3 was the quarterback for the Skins, the RPO that could put you in a lot of trouble. We don't know what type of quarterback Lamar Jackson is. He is absolutely correct. Like being in a traditional offense, I don't know how much they're going to pay him. We don't know.
They're not going to pay him. Hey, everybody, this is our guest, Jay Cowboys. Some of you are familiar with him. Jay played for K-Watt and Rasheen and myself back in the day over at the Mill. He's about 32, 33 now, making me feel like an old ass man.
Oh man.
You don't have to,
man. 35, man.
You're what?
35.
Woo!
Yeah, time is flying. Time is flying.
Oh my God!
But it's such a breath of fresh air to be in a group with you guys. That goes to show I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Jay's a big time Cowboys guy, and I invited him in to talk some football with us. Jay, we're in the middle of doing news and notes right now. We, as you can see, we were just in the AFC North. One of the things I thought that was interesting that happened last week in the AFC North was the Steelers voided Cam Sutton's contract under the premise that they could re-sign him in a different way. Like this, these ghost years are interesting that they added on that have come about. I'm curious to see how they handle that. He's a top 25 free agent. I read 2 days ago. I think it was put out by the NFL. He's one of the top 25 guys out there. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to have to pay him.
The Steelers' new way of thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be demanding a lot of money for all these positions because Sutton, he's a corner, right? He's the corner.
Yeah.
For y'all.
Yeah,
man, that's big time. Because the thing is with us, Trayvon Diggs, he's playing on a $4.5 million contract this year. And Anthony Brown is playing on a $6.5 million contract this year. So he's going to want to get paid. And I believe Jair Alexander is getting paid $20 million per year. So somewhere in that ballpark, Sutton, he might be asking for that kind of money.
He's not going to get that from the Steelers. He'll be taking his services to Miami or somewhere because the Steelers ain't paying him $20 million.
He won't be any good.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's
just,
gonna be
that's just
exciting to see how free agency pans out this year, because I'm a big believer in bringing in guys. You have to bring in top tier athletes. You have to draft well. You have to mix those guys with top tier athletes, and that's how you can take that next step. You know, to get to where you want to.
and we're going to talk about that going forward.
Watson said it, thinking outside the box, and that's what they actually need to do is think inside the box, because that's where they're getting gouged for those rushing yards. They need that's why they might let Sutton go, because that's where their focus is right now, in that box, that interior. So
let's talk draft.
Huh?
You want to get those guys in the draft.
Yeah, well, they need
I don't want a free agent. I don't want a free agent guy that's been playing in another system. I don't want that guy. I want an inside guy. I want to draft him, because you can train him to do what you do specifically.
Free up that money, though.
Yeah.
Like,
they keep talking about Darren Payne.
Yeah.
They keep talking about Darren. How about Payne?
Man,
Go ahead,
I want him so bad. I want him so bad. I'm sorry.
$20 million bucks.
I can explain why I want him, because the thing is, when you have a player that can play the 3 technique or the 1 technique, you can rush the passer. He changes the culture in the interior. He's a dog, and it's very, very important, because being that guy that can play the 1 technique to plug A and B gaps, and if your defensive ends are able to set the edge, that allows the linebackers to roam, because the offensive line won't be able to do reach blocks and get to the second level of the defense. Is very, very important. I know that's important for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not sure about the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we need dogs in there. We have pass rushers, and Daron Payne is one of the guys I really want coming into this draft. I mean,
But you're talking about the money at the corner spot. You only have so much money to go around.
Yeah, it's expensive. The cap is going up. I'm not really too good when it comes down to the cap, but at the same
22.
time, yeah, if you have to go get these impact players, man, and I'm a big time believer of that. But I see what you're saying, though. It's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys currently have about $7 million in cap space right now. So,
How much?
$7 million.
They got more than the Steelers.
They owed money.
$7 million.
They got
That's
6.
They're not over.
Yeah.
That means you're signing Grady Jackson, buddy.
It's good. You know what? They'll rework contracts. They're going to do like everybody else does. They're going to rework contracts and all that shit. Hey, Watson, what'd you grab for us in terms of the NFC East and West?
I tell you what, first of all, the NFC East right now is hot. I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, Daniel Jones, I don't know if you guys heard it, but my man wants $45 million. 45. Is he worth it?
No.
I don't know. Is he?
No.
Is he in the top 10? Is he in the top 15 of quarterbacks?
He's maybe 20. Top 20.
Okay, so what do you do as the Giants? What do you do? Because you know what? Saquon has already said he wants to get paid too.
Bring in Derek Carr, let Daniel Jones walk.
Denunzio.
Trade for Garoppolo. Sign Garoppolo.
Okay, but those are all very, very interesting things, because right now the Giants are, to me, they're in a pickle. I don't know if it's a sign too. The running backs coach, he left. Is that a sign for Saquon? I don't know. You know.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So who knows what's happening? But that's interesting information. And then I can get on to the Commanders, because I got to talk about this right now, because this has bothered me for I don't know how long. Why is Bieniemy going to the Commanders as the OC when he was the OC at KC? Why does he have to prove himself to be a head coach when the losing teams, OC, DC, get head coaching jobs, and my man's done won 2 Super Bowls and had the best quarterback in the NFL, and he got to prove himself? Why is that? That makes no sense to me. That's where my word opportunity comes into play. Somebody, please, give the man opportunity.
He
deserves it.
Cheerios just
He
the
deserves
same way Kareem Abdul-Jabbar never got a head coaching job. Something somewhere along the line pissed someone off.
I don't care if he pissed somebody off or not. The man,
I'm just telling you, that's how it is.
the man needs a head coaching opportunity. You can get a guy from college and fire him within 6 months, but you won't get this man who's played in the NFL, who's coached in the NFL. You won't give him a chance?
They take him to the Commanders where his whole career might go to the drain.
No,
I tell you what. If I'm a Commanders player, and being that I am African American, and most of this, basketball is made up of that. Okay, if I'm one of them players, I'm telling that man when I go in, we getting you a head coaching job. That's how I feel. I'm gonna ball out for that dude all day long.
I think
East, you better be put on notice because the Commanders are gonna ball out for this dude. I'm telling you right now. How? It's about opportunity, and they know that man needs opportunity.
Can I say something here? I think this is I think this is what's going on. I really do. I think they're going to sell the team, and I think this gives them a chance to get rid of Rivera and then just move him on up a little bit. I really do. I would love to see Rivera move on and then put Bieniemy as the head coach. There might be something unofficial. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. And he should. I agree with you 100,000%. Should have been a head coach a couple years ago. It's bullshit.
So pretty much what you're saying is Rivera, he's on a hot seat.
I think he's gone. I really do. He's awful. What has he done?
Yeah, change is always good. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think the players relate to him well. I think he's older.
Prediction.
I don't think he's very good. What is
after week what?
How much has he
gone?
Won? He won Cam Newton's 1 year when Cam Newton had a great year.
After
he was MVP that year. He was MVP.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got what's his name, Jack Del Rio at defense coordinator, and there was a lot of heat around him, and he did nothing about that. No. So eyes are on him.
Right.
Eyes are on him. All right, last one, Rasheen, NFC North and South. What do you got for us?
Hey, we're going to stick with the QB talk. There's talk about the Bears trading or getting rid of Fields. I think he's like the poor man's Jalen Hurt. He can't really throw. He can, but I don't know. Listen, I guess it's like Watson said about Jackson. What do we have here? What y'all think? Is he a starter in this league?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know because he played under coaches that weren't getting it done initially, and he doesn't have the tools around him. I don't feel like he has the tools. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selecting number one in the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm. And that's the key with a lot of these guys that you have question marks about. Even Daniel Jones, to be honest with you, who was he throwing to this year? He's like, who is he throwing to?
And then they traded Kadarius Toney away. He's going to be a superstar starting next year.
Yes.
That receiver Hodgins is pretty good, though. I think his name is Isaiah Hodgins. He picked up towards the end of the season, but they don't have a lot of receivers over here.
What about
Saquon carried the load? He was healthy whole year, so that really, really helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, my thing is, I think he was playing on a 1-year deal, right, Daniel Jones? Wasn't it like a 1-year
deal? Contract.
That's his rookie contract.
Okay.
The thing that's crazy is like Saquon was playing on that last year of the deal as well. Josh Jacobs, and it was one more guy that balled out this year. LVE had a pretty good year for the Dallas Cowboys. It's crazy how teams or players, they pick it up when they got 1 year left. So I'm trying to figure out what do owners, what do GMs, how do they look at the body of work and look at everything, not just the last year, because most of the guys, they tend to stay healthy for their last year. So it's crazy.
I think at the end of the day, though, those guys keep moving on because of they just ball out at the end of their contracts. To be honest with you, they get a hang now. They'll sit out their second of a 4-year deal. I don't think that I don't think that the organization has as much power as you might think they do. Just because they tell a guy, hey, you're ready to go, he can still look at them and say, you know what, it just doesn't feel right to me. I don't want to step on the field and continue to go. This is my body. You know, that's just my take on it. I agree with you, though. A lot of these guys, they don't show up until the end. Shit, let's talk hockey for 20 seconds here. There's a guy that plays for the Penguins by the name of Justin Zucker, a really good physical, fast hockey player. He really hasn't played much the last 3 years. This year, he's played virtually every game. He is earning every bit of his $5.5 million contract, which is a pretty good contract in hockey. Is he eating the pain this year because he knows it's a contract year? What's the deal? You know, I don't. To be in that
haven't been in that situation. MCPS hasn't put me there yet, so you know I'm still working on it.
They're going to put us there.
I mean, I've been preaching all quarter. I haven't taken one day. I'm fighting through this shit. Let's go. What's next?
I'm trying to get a sub, and it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go in. I don't care. I'll eat it.
Hey, you know something else I saw recently in the South was Thomas Brown got hired as the defensive coordinator in Carolina. I think that was a pretty good hiring by them. I think he'll bring a very athletic and energetic defense to them. I really like that hiring. I told you guys, I think Lamar is going to end up there. And I'll talk more about that a little bit later with our last segment.
One thing I didn't get to add to that or for the West was the Jalen Ramsey rumors on basically them letting him go or trying to trade him or whatever the case may be. And they've pretty much come out and said they're trying to trade dude. So I don't know his contract issue. I don't know how much he's making or due to make, but you know.
I seen rumors of him going to the Steelers.
Yeah, that's the big rumor. I don't see the Steelers showing up.
He made too much.
He made $16 million, I believe he is.
Yeah,
and he's 28. I'd rather grab a guy with one of my first 3 picks, or something like that. Marcus Peters is another guy rumored to be jumping over to the Steelers. I don't see that happening either. That's just not in their wheelhouse. That just isn't. Not with the money going around. I'm still waiting for the Steelers to go ahead and do some renegotiating with 3 or 4 guys. I'm waiting for them to cut what's his name, William Jackson, and free up that money. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
They're going to cut that dude.
They're not going to pay him $12 million.
Ramsey,
they're going to pay him that. I don't think they're cutting him. I just got a strange feeling. I got a strange feeling. They're not cutting that.
That's a lot of money to pay a dude who didn't even play last year.
I don't think they're going to pay him that, but I'm almost. I don't know how you get a feel. You know, like there's some negotiating behind the scenes on basically this year, next year. You know what I mean? Because it was all in order to get that pick they got from the Commanders. All certain things had to happen, and it did happen. I just think something's fishy.
Well, the Commanders didn't get anything out of this at the end of the day because he didn't play one snap.
I know, but we did. We got to keep the whatever pick. We got to keep.
Oh, that 7th round pick.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Also, a couple other things. Steve Wilkes signed with the Niners as their D coordinator. They moved from one really good D coordinator who gets a head coaching job at Houston to another one who really did a good job in Carolina. I mean, Wilkes did a phenomenal job. Those talk about balling out for a guy. Those guys stepped their game up, and they got rid of half of their freaking team.
Yeah.
And those of you old enough, Jay, you're a little too young for this guy. Conrad Dobler passed away last week. I know y'all remember him. He was just nasty. Conrad Dobler played for the Cardinals. He was 72. So, hey, let's jump into the Super Bowl just for a quick bit. I know it's a little ancient history now. It was a tale of 2 halves. I think I said that to you guys, and I did a Super Bowl show for Let's Talk Sports Network. I was asked to host a show, and I gave some insight from my perspective. I knew it was going to be a tale of 2 halves. I just had that feeling. Mahomes' injury was really interesting to me. Both times he nicked that thing up. He ran off the field, came back the second half, and he was alive and ready to go. His scamper, 20, 30 yards, did not look like a guy who was having some serious ankle problems. I think he played this Super Bowl extremely well compared to the way he played against Tampa last year, where he ran sideline to sideline. This year, he sat in that pocket and he made the most of every throw. And I even said that in that podcast that I did, that I thought that that's what we would see from him. He would bring that experience from last year and apply it. He's very, very football smart, that kid.
He really is.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I still, I question it. Like, some of the, I guess, every team has to make adjustments. KC made their adjustments the second half, and then Philly didn't make any adjustments to what KC was basically doing to them. I think, and I know you got this question on here a little bit later here, but the turn of the game, I think it was the difference between the first half and the second half, and when they came out. One thing that really stuck out for me was Jalen Hurts in the first half was escaping inside the pocket and then out. The second half, he was trying to do everything out wide, and that's not going to work. You got to go up into the pocket and then escape. And they were just running them down on the outside or pushing them out of bounds. And I think that was a big piece of KC being able to control that game.
Where was the running game of the Eagles, though? How many carries did Miles Sanders have? After that guy had an incredible year, and I texted one of my buddies, I said, what the hell's going on with your Eagles? And this guy lives, breathes, eats Philly sports, Eagles. And I said, why is Sanders not carrying the ball? And he wasn't even getting in a rotation, to be honest with you.
Let me throw this out. Let me throw this out here. I know his mom. I'm friends with her, and I posted that on Facebook during the game. And she wrote something to the effect that him and the quarterback, Hurt, don't get along. And I said, well, what the hell I got to do with winning and losing? Like, I hate you afterwards. Yeah. But, I mean, so I don't know if that plays into it. I mean, I guess it could if he's the guy saying, hey, take him out and put Watson in that running back. I don't know. But
did you see he pulled it? He did pull it like 3 or 4 times when he should have handed it.
Yes, he did. You're right. He sure did.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the RPO, right?
Yep.
You're talking about the RPO?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then he ran, but he should have given it. It was both times with Miles Sanders.
Is that one of the ones that led to the fumble in the first half?
There was another time when Miles Sanders was open in the flat, and he didn't even look at him. Wide open, didn't even look at him. Miles Sanders just kind of started jogging. Like, you could tell he wasn't into the game at all.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know that is because I bet on him to score like a dumbass.
Yes, me too. Messed up my whole ticket, New Bowser.
So this crazy because like momentum was swinging really, really fast in that game. Like once Jalen Hurts got that fumble and they for that scoop and score, it seemed like the energy just changed. And those type of games, everybody was watching, and you can just tell that anybody make one mistake, it's gonna flip. So that's what I was feeling the whole game.
It was almost another one too, but that guy didn't catch it. They said no catch. That would have really turned it, and I think it would have made a big difference at the end, and it wouldn't have been as close because that might have just taken the air out of Philly. But
Philly didn't play well from behind all year. Once they got behind somebody, didn't have that same je sais quoi to come back and beat somebody, number one. Number two, there were 3 questionable plays. That play there that you're talking about, the catch by Dallas Goedert, which I still, to this moment, I'm baffled at the fact that he had 1 foot in bounds before he secured the ball. Then he went out of bounds, and they called it a good catch. And then, of course, the pass interference. I mean, okay, we saw the grab. We saw the hand around the hip after that. It's an inopportune time, but a penalty's a penalty too. Like you call it how you want to. I don't know. I don't make that kind of money. I don't make those decisions. But from my perspective, those 3 plays transcended that game. And you know what? Jalen Hurts, to his credit, did play an incredible game. But I felt like he put the team on his back. He didn't get as much throwing the ball out of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Like he made throws early on, but then it kind of faded away. There was a point in the third quarter where A.J. Brown didn't have 1 catch, not one catch. I know because I betted on him having.
Shout out to Andy Reid.
I mean, that's bad when I can't name anyone in the Chiefs secondary.
Yeah. What y'all think of Rihanna?
Listen,
Before we get to Rihanna, I want to say one thing though.
Okay.
Shout out to
Break it
Andy
down,
Reid
Jack.
because the thing is, like with Andy Reid, you can tell that they were actually scheming guys open. They were wide open, and it's not just the athletes on the field that's gonna get it done. The coaches, everybody was just coming together and they got it done. Scheming guys open, and those guys was rocking and rolling. So my question for y'all before we get to Rihanna is Andy Reid a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Is he a
Yeah.
Hall of Famer?
yeah.
Yeah.
Pound for pound?
He's been,
Okay.
what's he been in the Super Bowl 6 times now?
Yeah.
He lost 4,
Yeah.
won 2.
One
You
with
know, he's
Philly.
always done it with the quarterback that's been a superstar quarterback. Donovan McNabb in the day. You
I
know,
don't.
and
They didn't
now-
go. They only went once with Philly. They won all them championships, but that
Yeah.
they went once
One once.
when T.O. was there. And
Yeah.
he's been there 3
They
times.
won?
with the Chiefs. Huh?
Oh,
Just one.
They only went
He won
once.
one with
one
Philly.
time. Oh, they lost those. They lost those championships. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but still, to get to the championships, I mean, if Bill Cowher's a Hall of Fame coach, if we talk about Tomlin being a Hall of Fame coach, Andy Reid's a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
That's
First
why.
ballot.
That's why I asked. Yeah, that's why I had to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he does a great job. His personal life is a fucking train wreck. Don't let me mix words for you guys there. But the man perseveres through it all. You know, I'm sure he doesn't ask for that to happen that way. So, yeah, good point, Jay. Rihanna. Watson, Newbizer, Rihanna. What'd you
Great
think?
show. Great show.
Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, sat back, enjoyed it. That's probably, I don't usually watch the halftime show like that, but for whatever reason, I checked in this time, and yeah, I was okay. All right, not bad at all.
The platforms were pretty neat.
Yeah,
All that stuff was pretty. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I was going to say, my wife, when she was pregnant, had a hard time walking down the steps. This lady's on 60-foot high platforms. What the hell? I was getting nervous for her. I'm like,
Yeah.
Paul,
I ain't as big as Rihanna fan, but yeah, it was all right.
Jay, like, so y'all actually watched that? Because I was doing something.
I'm like, man, I ain't feel like watch, man.
I didn't even watch last year when Snoop and them performed.
Yeah.
oh, that was the best.
Last year,
You
might
can't
have
miss
been
the
best.
Snoop one.
Yeah.
Yeah, when 50 Cent was upside down last year, that was it right there.
Oh
He
yeah.
was, he turned into a quarter.
Barbershop. Yeah.
Heads or tails. What do you want? Hey, let's get into this now. Let's break down the future of the Cowboys from the OSP and BS crews standpoint, and we'll let Jay go ahead and give his insight on the Steelers and the Chargers, because Noobs is a big Chargers fan. He decided that he had enough of the bullshit that Dan Snyder wrote out on a regular basis and continues to do so. And
Time
yeah, go ahead.
Time the heck out. So
Oh.
how did you get to this show? I'm lost. I thought he was a Steeler fan.
Noobs. He appreciates the Steelers.
Oh yeah, I thought he had to end with us, man.
He does have the in with us. He brings great insight.
Good. I mean, I'm not denying that part. I just thought he was a Steeler fan. Oh, my
Looked
Lord.
like one. That looked like a Steelers fan.
All right, go ahead.
He adds a little bit of flavor from the AFC West standpoint.
Okay.
Jay, let's go ahead and get after the quarterback position. Let's start right there. Pickett, is he the man?
I like Pickett. The thing is with Pickett, when Trubisky was the starter, I think Mike Tomlin went in there and said that he did not want to put him in for that year, right? Did he mention that? Did he say something about not putting him in for that
When
whole
he
year?
signed
And just
Trubisky, he said he was the number one guy. There was no, even after he drafted Pickett, there was no mention. They kind of said that Trubisky and Mason Rudolph were going to get to battle it out, but that was just propaganda being spewed.
Yeah, but it's awesome to see that from a rookie, stepping in there, throwing him to the wolves. And you guys actually went on a 4-game streak to end, right? That's fireworks.
Yeah. We were 7-2 down the stretch. Yep.
7-2 down the stretch, 4-game win streak. I mean, that's fireworks. When you getting that from your quarterback and he's going out there going against those top tier athletes, man, that is a very, very good look. And it's the little things with him. And he wasn't trying to make mistakes. You can tell that he's tough And having those guys, George Pickens, that's one of my favorite wide receivers. I'm actually about to do a breakdown on him soon, and I can't wait. But one of my favorite guys, and Deontay, I think Deontay Johnson, right? Deontay Johnson, wide receiver.
Backwards.
Didn't really have that much production this year. I don't know what was going on. I know Claypool is gone, and I don't know. Maybe there could be a chance that you guys end up going wide receiver in the draft this year, possibly. But Deontay Johnson is good, but he didn't really finish strong.
He had production.
He just doesn't. He can't get in the end zone.
It's the end zone. Yeah.
He's allergic to it. He's allergic.
He had like 8 catches for like 500 yards. So.
Yeah. But the thing is, so what about the left tackle position? Okay, so do you think you guys are going to pick somebody up in the draft with the left tackle position? And do you think that Dan Moore Jr. can he play the guard position?
They will pick up somebody in the draft, in my opinion. Will they move Dan Moore to the inside? No, I don't think he will do very well inside. I think his feet are a little heavy to play down in there.
I had to make y'all think on that one. You know what I'm saying? I had to make y'all think.
Yeah, that's my opinion on that one. Yeah.
Okay. Dan Moore's going to be the swing tackle, and they're going to get either one of those tackles from Ohio State, either what's his name, Darwin Jones or Paris Johnson. The Jones had an excellent Senior Bowl week. He's gigantic. He moves well laterally. He does great. He's a road grinder in the run game. Long ass arms. I think they said like something like 7 foot reach, some crazy thing. But he's very physical. The only problem was they took a look at him on the right side instead of the left side. I agree with you. And they tried the experiment with Chooks moving over to the left side, and that just didn't work. It didn't work. So whoever they get has either got to be smart or automatically a left guy, and then they're going to use Dan Moore, from what I've read, heard, and everything, to be the swing guy. And they'll feel confident with that. They think he can do that. It'll be his third year next year, and they feel confident he can do that.
Okay. Good deal. All right, so Najee Harris, I think he was hurt like half the season, right? Was he hurt half the season? He didn't really have the biggest year, but I'm a Najee Harris guy. That's one of my favorite players on you guys' team. And he's a beast, but I just want to see if he can take that next step next season. You know what I mean? But you guys have the talent everywhere from offense and defense, but just like how the Cowboys are, just like how the Chargers are as well. The thing is, like the defense, TJ Watt is definitely one of my favorite players in this league, and I am still upset that we did not step up and go get this player. We picked Taco Charlton, right, in the draft before TJ Watt, and because TJ Watt was too small. But my thing is, I am real big on NFL DNA. If you got guys like TJ Watt, if you got guys like Asante Samuel Jr., we'll get to the Chargers. But if you got guys like that, DNA, you go get those guys. You know what I mean? So we didn't pick them up. We got.
So you saying we should go get Porter in the draft? Is that what you saying?
Hey, listen, I already did a breakdown. I know that Maradei he's not a big fan of him. But my thing is, when you have a player with NFL DNA, and if you have a player that is 6'2", coming in at 194 pounds, this dude has very long arms. If you have the right coaching staff, if you have the right coaching staff, you can coach this guy up, and he can be a top-notch player. I will not make that mistake and miss out on another one of these.
I wouldn't either.
Uncle Mike doesn't need to bring one of his grandson, or he doesn't need to bring his godson in. Uncle Mike does not need his godson. That to me, as good as you can paint that picture. And I saw your breakdown. The picture's nice. It's a beautiful picture. You did a thorough job. I give you 100%
strengths and weaknesses. Yeah.
Hold on. By the way, Jay,
I just don't think Uncle Mike needs to bring in another guy that he has so much familiarity with. It changes the dynamic in that locker room.
Hold on. I did see the video today, by the way, Jay.
Okay.
Second, We do have like you said, if they're dead and everybody's in the NFL, we got one. His name is Trey Edmonds. I mean, what's Tremaine Edmonds? He sucks. I'm just gonna tell.
Okay. I got you, dog.
I'm not gonna say he's terrible. I'm not gonna say that. He's very consistent, but he doesn't lose value. He doesn't lose value, but he's very consistent. I will say that. But he's not gonna. He doesn't make the splash play that you're looking for. That's all.
I do like Joey Porter Jr. I do.
I do too. I mean, 6'2" corner that can run. Oh, I take him all day.
I'll take him to the south side too.
Straight up.
Just saying.
He's no Darrell Revis, but
No.
I think you know what I think he's like, y'all. I think he could be a Xavier Rhodes. He has that type of build, like a Xavier Rhodes. He looked like that Richard Sherman, Xavier Rhodes type. You would want them on the outside,
long and lean.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to put him in an inside or anything because having those slippery type of receivers that'll pitch you in a blender, you don't want that. So you want to have him on the outside. Yeah.
Is he fiery like Joey Porter Sr. is my question.
I hope so. Because he got. That's
the question. Is he gonna get shot in Denver?
It's okay.
You'll be bringing him back to the facility then. If you draft the son, JP Senior will be back in the facility. Do you really want that?
No matter to me.
Hey, I like the fights before the game.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, bring in dogs, man. You got to bring in dogs sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to change the culture.
Yep. Get a
little tight
nasty.
end. What do you think of the tight end in Pittsburgh?
I like Freiermuth. The thing is with Freiermuth, if he can do it on a consistent basis, he will literally be a top 3, top 5 type of tight end. He is that good to me, but he has to do it on a consistent basis. He's a pretty good blocker too, right?
Yes, he's okay.
I know a pass catcher, but you know,
Zach Jensen's a better blocker, and he's a free agent.
Okay.
He's an unrestricted free agent. He might need not a lot of money, but second team, they need to look at his snaps and realize what he means to this team because Connor Hayward, even though he's the number 3 guy on this team at the tight end spot, is more of like an H-back than he is a tight end. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I like him. I think once he figured out the NFL game, the speed of it, he contributed. Not a ton of plays, but enough splash plays that he made a difference. Zach Gentry is a big, tall, lean body that they have been working on for 3 years, and he's finally started to show the fruits of his development under Kenny Pickett. And that's, with Freiermuth, they need to scheme him open, Jay. We'll get into – I don't want to talk about Canada. I've talked about him enough.
That's a whole goddamn show right there.
On the defensive side of the ball, let's get to the defensive side of the ball, then we'll jump over to the Chargers.
Yeah, Miles Jack had he's one of the guys that he was one of the best prospects in college. I'm not with you guys scheme. If you can scheme this guy right, this dude, he was definitely one of my favorite guys as well. Devin Bush, the safety, the safety, what's his name? Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, the thing is with you guys on defense and offense, y'all have so much talent, but I think it's going to come down to scheme, the chemistry with everybody, picking up a few players in free agency or a few players in the draft, and it's going to get back to Pittsburgh football, baby, because this football is good when Pittsburgh is dominating. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Yeah. I got a lot of love for y'all, man. I definitely got a lot of love for y'all, and it's gonna be good, man. You guys are stacked everywhere, but just a couple more things to clean up, and I think you guys will be rocking and rolling, especially finishing the season going on a 4-game streak.
Would you resign Cam Sutton for top tier money?
Man, see, the thing is, we said top tier money is like 20 million. What's up, Jay? What's good? We good. Would you want to say hi real quick? Let her say hi, please. Come in.
Please let her come on.
Please. Yes. She's the one behind the scenes. Say hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
This is my wife, Jasmine. Yep.
Welcome to the show.
I know, right? I know. Just talking football,
Go Chiefs! Look,
she's a Chiefs fan. Yeah, she's a Chiefs fan, so it's crazy. Yeah. All right. She always want to come say hi, Maradei.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, much love. But yeah, man. So it's the defense, you guys. I mean, stack offense, defense, and special teams. It wins championships. That wins championships. So it's going to be very important to see how you guys shake out. But you guys are close. It's not far away. Kenny Pickett is a good quarterback, and yeah, man, it's going to be fireworks.
Where's he rank in the top 10 going into next year, or doesn't he?
I don't think he ranked yet. Yeah, I wouldn't take that step yet. Just keep on. Don't let him get cocky. Just let him, because he got so much to learn. And he came in because Trubisky wasn't doing good. Don't shoot his confidence. You can tell he's very confident. And I think it's either going to be Joey Porter that you guys draft, or it could be Jordan Addison. And I'm actually going to have his grandfather on my show. I got to get you guys on my show too. Please. I need to get you guys on my show. I got a pretty nice little platform, and we can talk draft football and stuff like that. Jordan Addison, a lot of these guys, they like to connect these wide receivers with the quarterbacks that they used to play with. If you think about Jalen Hurts was with Devontae Smith. If you think about Tua was with Jalen Waddle. If you think about Joe Burrow was with Jamar Chase. Don't be surprised if y'all take that step to get that Pittsburgh boy, because he should have stayed in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? That's where he should have stayed.
It's going to open that can of worms.
Yeah, it was no point.
Yeah, we're not going to
money. NIL.
Okay. They switching things up now, so it's crazy.
Yeah, Jordan's a good kid. He did the right thing. And I'm a huge Pitt fan. I'm a diehard Pitt fan, but he did the right thing. You go for the money.
It was best for you. Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
You just go. His brother goes to my high school.
Oh, wow.
The unfortunate piece is he's half the athlete of Jordan. He's a basketball kid, right, Mike?
Yeah. He might play. I might talk him into playing football this year. We'll see.
That'd be interesting to see.
We're gonna put him in the slot. See what happens.
That'd be interesting to see. I mean, he's not Jordan, but Jordan. Who knew what Jordan was going to be? He was over at Tuscarora playing ball. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Vince had a quarterback.
All right, let's get into the Chargers, Jay. Jay, from your standpoint, is Herbert a top 5 quarterback?
I think Herbert is a top 5 quarterback, but you can definitely bring another receiver for him. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore. I think I like Kellen Moore. I've always liked Kellen Moore. He's the type of offensive coordinator that can get you can be a top 3 offense. But my question about him is when it really matters, do you adjust in the game? You have to adjust. He has all the tools. He knows how to, set his players up. I'm sure Eckler is going to be Tony Pollard is the Eckler in that offense, but Eckler, you want him catching the ball just like he was last year. Tony Pollard didn't catch the ball as much as Eckler does, but hopefully they can keep that going with Kellen Moore. But with him, there's not too much RPO that we were running in our offense. It's more of like a traditional type of offense, trips, twins, like the basic things. But they like to run the ball, and that's exactly what they're going to bring to the Chargers with Kellen Moore.
Watson, what were you going to say?
I just have a question on why did the Cowboys let him go? I'm a little bit confused on that, because I heard you just say a lot of good things about him, but then they got him go.
Okay. So here's the thing. You know how they say change is good, and you know when you bring in a new head coach, Mike McCarthy.
1 year, wasn't it? Just 1 year?
You say it again?
Was he just 1 year? Was he the OC for 1 year? 2?
Kellen Moore, he's been an off OC for about 5 years now, 4 years, 5 years. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's been a while. But the thing is, when you bring in a new head coach, Mike McCarthy, he has a past of running the offense when he was with Green Bay. And those guys, stuff that we don't hear about on the internet, they go out there. I heard that they was having problems about the offensive play calling. So eventually, Mike McCarthy was going to take that spot. So that's fine. So everybody's going to be looking at Mike McCarthy and seeing if he can get the job done.
But here, now I'm gonna throw this in. When he first came there, Mike McCarthy was calling the plays, and he had to give it up because he was doing a horrible job. So he had to give it up. So my question is he's going to go back to that because he couldn't manage the game and call the plays. He struggled, and I think if he's going to call the plays for the Cowboys, you guys are going to struggle.
See, the thing is, I think you're getting it mixed up with Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett came in and he was calling it because when he first got here, when Mike McCarthy first got to Dallas, he never called the plays. It was always, I'm positive, it was only Kellen Moore. But with Jason Garrett, at one point, he was calling plays. Then he stopped calling plays. So Mike McCarthy is going to be huge, but a lot of people are going to be locked in and focused and see how he does it. You know, these offensive coordinators have egos, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll definitely see, but they're going to, things. We kind of ran away from the Chargers a little bit because of Kellen Moore, but yes, I'm sorry about that. But as far as Kellen Moore, he does have what it takes to be a top 3 offense in the league, but it's going to come down to how he utilizes, and he's going to utilize Gerald Everett as well. A lot of 21 personnel, big boys, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They like to run the ball. So that's good. But the main thing is adjusting when the games really matter, like towards the end in playoffs. That's what it comes down to with Kellen Moore.
They got to get to the playoffs. They got to get to the
They
playoffs.
did.
They really do.
They
They
got
really
there.
do.
To get there, they just and then
I mean,
27-point lead.
they were gasping for air to get there. I think that they need to shore up that receiver spot too. You know, there was mention of Keenan Allen getting moved on, and you know, you got to bring in a guy that's Justin Herbert's number 1, guaranteed, who's going to stay healthy and give him those weapons to work with. I agree with you about Eckler, no question about it. There's no question about it. He is a workhorse, believe it or not. And they're pretty good up front now, aren't they, Mike? Didn't they grab a couple of guys last year in the draft that really, really were good up front?
Yeah, they're really good. They got Slater.
Oh my gosh,
is a great center, and then Jamari Sawyer stepped up big time for them last year. He played tackle, guard. He played all over the place because guys, there's so many injuries. The Chargers were the most injured team in the NFL last year. So,
I remember us talking about
it. And that seems to be every year with them.
Yeah.
Get hurt.
Yeah.
That's a problem. You got to look at your strength and conditioning. That's
Yep.
So
I love Derwin James.
do it.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
Talk
he's
about
a
a
beast.
baller. He's a baller and a half. Like, I love that guy. I love watching him play. I think that defense has the capability of being like a San Francisco defense because they fly around quite a bit too. They definitely have that makeup, that same makeup. You know,
They need linebackers though. Kenneth Murray is not the answer at linebacker. Like he's physically a stud, but he's not an inside linebacker guy. Like he just doesn't get to the ball, doesn't find lanes, out of position a lot. Like they need a legit inside linebacker.
Tremaine,
You think it can come down to scheme though with him?
I mean, maybe, but Staley's not going anywhere. So, I mean, they're going to run the same scheme they've run. They didn't replace their D coordinator.
how about Tremaine? Will they take a look at him to bring him over?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Staley, to be honest. Like, I don't like what he does defensively. They don't get stops when they need to. I don't know. I don't. He's got some studs. Like Derwin James is an animal.
He's one of the best,
Yeah.
no question.
He's a beast. I got a lot of respect for Asante Samuel too, man. Like I said, them DNA, Watson, the DNA, baby, the DNA. Like when we made a mistake and picked up Kelvin Joseph, Boss Man Fat the rapper. This guy is off the chain. Like you go get a guy like Asante Samuel, and just like I said about TJ Watt, it's so crazy that we're talking about. This is exactly what I put on my last breakdown video on Joey Porter. If you got Asante Samuel and if you got guys like TJ Watt on the board, you go get those players. You go get them, man. And they can be the ones that take that next step. and we'll see how it plays out. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you all a little secret. I remember when TJ Watt got drafted, and my guy that I coached with up in the corner there, head JV coach, the guy that I coached with when you played Jay, he didn't like that draft pick. He did not like that draft pick. He didn't like the fact that he was a tight end that flipped over to outside linebacker, putting him in that 5-3 look. I remember that, Waddy. I remember it well. You miss on very few, but that one,
he's a great one-on-one pass rusher.
He's legit. Good. All right, let's talk Jays. Let's talk Jays Cowboys a little bit here. Jay, I think you're wasting your money with your quarterback, but that's me personally. You guys thoughts on Dak?
I'm a Dak fan. You can't throw a quarterback out there when he only got one receiver that he's really throwing to. I mean, and then they try to put the blame on Dak. That's not fair. Elliott is not Elliott. I mean, you might as well just take him. He got that big fat contract and he'd have disappeared. And then once Pollard went down, then they were really in trouble at that point, and now you're asking him to do more with one receiver. Can't do that.
I don't know. Gallup?
Why did they?
Gallup any good?
Gallup?
I thought he. Yeah,
Gallup is good, but he had 42 catches this year, 424 yards with 4 touchdowns coming off of ACL.
Yeah.
So that's better than he equates better than what Deontay Johnson did on the Steelers. He had 86 catches for 850 yards and zero Watson, zero touchdowns.
I know it was zero, but
he had a 2-point
catches like that. That's your second receiver. That's not too work. It can't be.
You going to re-sign T.Y. Hilton?
No.
No. Why did they let Cooper go?
They might. See here. Okay, y'all can go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go.
Why did they let Cooper go?
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all.
It's draft, man. It's draft. I'm telling you, draft.
The Cowboys are in trouble, in my opinion. So they got Dak's going to count $49.1 million this season on the cap. Yeah. That's asinine.
Yeah.
And they can restructure, but then they're going to have more dead money going down the line, which is really going to screw up. Zeke's gone. Like, they're going to get rid of Zeke after June 1st. That will save them $10 million on the cap.
Yeah.
But then what are they going to do at running back?
Pollard, man.
Pollard's hurt. He had ACL.
He had an ACL injury. So the thing is with him, like we don't because I think we're going to end up franchise tagging him, but just depends on how it all shakes with him. Yeah, but this is last year though. He needs to be signed.
No, you pick in a nice spot where the running back from Texas will be. You pick at a very nice spot. He will be there. That's who you need to go get.
See, my problem is though, Watson, when it comes down to getting running backs in the first round, like you can find top tier players in the second, third, fourth round. We got to get wide receivers to be able to create space, sinking their hips when they're getting out of their breaks, nuanced route runners. We need guys to be able to get open for Dak Prescott because Dak is a quarterback that he's good, but he's not throwing these wide receivers open. So that is very important.
But that needs a running game. Think of when he was at his best. What did he have behind him?
I know, but those type of moves to me personally, that just gets us to the divisional rounds. That's just what it is when it comes down to it.
So you're going to waste a draft pick on the first round on a wide receiver.
I don't think that's a waste.
Well, not just wide receiver. I mean, you got wide receiver, corner, possibly interior 3 technique. I don't really want to pick up a 1 technique in the first round. No, you want an interior 3 technique pass rusher if you can find one. Defensive ends, it's a lot of places that you can go. We don't know what's going on with Tyron Smith, so we got to keep that going. But at the same time, going in there to go get a running back.
There's only one running back in this draft that's worth that, and that's that dude from Texas. I'm telling you, that's the only one. He's a game changer.
What about Jahmyr Gibbs? Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. Because they've been talking about him like he's the next.
he ain't that dude from Texas, though. He's not that dude from Texas. That dude from Texas is 25. He can carry the ball 20 to 25 times a game.
Who runs the ball 20 to 25 times a game, Kevin? The NFL is a passing league. You need a guy in the first round that's a running back.
But what I'm saying is,
5 times is irrelevant.
I'm going back to when Dak was at his best. He had somebody behind him. That's all I'm saying. If he's got
what Jay said, you take the best man on the board, and that's what Kevin's saying.
Yes,
I understand what you're saying, but Jay, I align more with your thinking.
Yeah.
I think you feel a position that is a big money position, and you find yourself a running back down the road. There's guys that pop. There's guys that pop off the chart every year.
From Kansas City.
Pacheco. Yeah, who the hell thought he was going to be anything?
Exactly. So you're hoping.
You take a chance.
That's when coaches come involved. That's when scouts come involved. You know what I mean?
Don't you all still have one of the best offensive lines in football?
We still stout up there. We still stout, but I mean, not as good as we used to.
No, not as good as it used to be.
Work out up there.
Their interior is kind of weak, isn't it? The center guard position was kind of.
Well, right? You got Zach Martin there. Tyler Smith. He's really, really good. He plays left tackle and left guard, so it's good there. Terrence still he plays the right tackle position, but it's crazy because Tyron Smith. I don't know if he's going to go at the right tackle position or if he's going to go at the left tackle position. We have a lot of questions when it comes down to Tyron Smith because he can't stay healthy at all.
Yeah,
so
that's a big Jay. I disagree with you on taking a shade or a 3. If you've got a game changer in the middle of that lineup, you already said it about Payne. If you got a game changer in the middle of that lineup early on, it's better to pay that guy for 5 years than it is to go out and pay somebody $20 million. To be honest with you, those receivers, depending on who evaluates your receivers, the Steelers get their receivers, what, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. They don't even look early because all these kids in college today,
that's all they do.
The damn ball. I mean, that they throw the ball around in college so much now.
That's why when you can find a running back, you might want to go get him because the receivers, there are more of them. Just say.
Mike, if I put a running back, a receiver, or a stud on the offensive defensive line on the board for you when it's your pick, where are you going?
For Dallas?
Yeah.
Well, if it's a kid from Texas, I'm taking him. I love him. And if it's like the 4th receiver, so you can have the number 1 running back or the 4th best receiver. I'm taking the number 1 running back because that kid is a difference maker. I agree with Watson 100,000%. Watch his film, man. That kid is special. Yes. He's really good. The kid from Alabama is pretty legit, too. He's got great speed.
I guess we'll find out.
I agree with that, too, but I have a question. They say history repeats itself. Are we going to get back to a running game in the NFL? I know not anytime soon, but do you think it evolves and comes back full circle?
No, because you can't hit like you used to.
Yeah, so
not in practice.
Yeah,
not in practice, not in the game.
It's just a whole different. It's a whole different NFL. I mean, you can't touch the guys, you can't tackle the guys, you can't scream in his face, you can't do anything. So
that's so crazy because I know I couldn't play in this type of time now. I'll be getting fined like crazy.
Yeah, even you know what, Jay? At the high school level, they still hit pretty good, though, don't they, Mike?
Good, okay.
Don't you feel like they hit pretty good in the high school level, man?
They do. It's not like it used to be, but it's not bad.
Yeah, right. I mean, we used to back when they was coaching us, man, we used to be crunching.
we preach physicality. We preach physicality. Football's a physical sport. You know what you sign up for when you play football. Same with hockey. You know what you sign up for. You're going to get your ass plugged as you continue to move up the age categories. And
man, that's why I say, man, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Maradei. Shout out to Hill. Shout out to Watson. I love you guys so much, man. I'm telling you, like, one thing about y'all, man, y'all had me so riled up when I was playing out there. I swear, and I still got that in me. It's still in me. That inner dog is in me. But the thing is, I take it out on my videos. That's the only way I can be able to do it. But I think you did say bring something that means a lot to you, right?
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, so I got one. I got 2. So this right here is my shark tooth snapback hat, and this is so hard to find. Every time I go live, they always ask me where this hat is. This is my main right here. So that's the shark tooth, right? So this right here. Look at this, Coach Watson. 4 years, baby. Hey, look, Hey, I got the. I remember you handed me this. This is in my man cave. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if you guys already shared, but I had to bring this down, man, because it's awesome being on here with you guys, man. So,
we're excited to have you.
Yeah,
guys, man. Really.
Hey, let's move over to the last question and then the final segment because there are two pretty straightforward segments. I said since the moves of coaches on Black Monday in the league, who do you think? Which it really wasn't that bad of a Black Monday this year. Guys were fired during the season this year, which is pretty unheard of the way they did that. But who do you think will turn their situation around in the league? Let's start with you, Jay. Let's give you the floor to start with.
I think it could be the Broncos. It could be the Broncos. I mean, Sean Payton is just going to come down to Russell Wilson. Now, he had the most craziest year this year, but they do have a pretty solid team offensively and defensively. You got Patrick Surtain. You got some dogs over there, but chemistry is everything. And this is going to be big because a lot of people are going to be focusing in, locked in to see what Sean Payton can do. And this is going to show if coaching can really change things. And I'm going to be locked in to see how they go going forward.
Noob, who's going to make a difference?
I like the Carolina Panthers. You mentioned them earlier. The OC Thomas Brown, I like him a lot. And he's a young guy. So what Frank Reich did is he brought in Jim Caldwell, who actually coached me at Wake Forest. I love it that he brought him back. That guy, that's another guy that got shit on in Detroit. Like he did well there. Like if you look at all the guys that coached in Detroit, he did well and still got fired. It's kind of bullshit. Not kind of, it is bullshit. And then his DC actually came from the Broncos, and I know I'm gonna screw up the pronunciation, but Evero, is that how you say it? He's a young star, man. And as far as DCs go, he had the Broncos in the top 10 in defense last year. I think that guy's gonna be a stud. But you bring in those two guys, a lot of young coaching talent. I think that's gonna make a big difference for Carolina. They just need to have a nice draft and find a quarterback, I guess.
I'm going to springboard off of that because that's who I wrote down too. I think Frank Reich's going to do an awesome job with Lamar Jackson once they get him signed and into camp with that money. They got a big-time owner who's going to pay the cash. They've got a wealth of picks. I went and looked at their picks. Now, the one place that they do have a little bit of an Achilles heel is their money. They're close to the cap. They're about $7 million away, and I think they'll rework some of that because some of that money will have to come off. They are the youngest team or one of the youngest teams at 25 years old with that group of guys. So just to add some more fuel to that fire, I think that they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I know it's not going to be Tampa, Atlanta, or Houston in that division. Terry, who you got?
Well, I don't want to steal Watson's thunder. I'll let him have the enemy and the Commanders. I think the I don't know how if it's going to be like a complete turnaround, but I'm excited to see what the head coach for the Cardinals is going to be able to do, Jonathan Gannon. And the reason why I say that is because he's also bringing in a new OC with him. The team has nowhere to go but up. They finished last in the division. I think it was a fluke year. Murray was hurt. I think it'd be a good comeback for him, a fresh start, new head coach, new offensive coordinator. I think them being predicted 32nd overall is going to be ammunition and fuel to the fire that they have something to prove because they got a lot of young guys. I know a lot of them are hurt, but I think that team with some new coaching staff will be heading in the right direction.
Watson, that's a team where Eric Bieniemy should have landed.
Yeah.
Right. He and Kyler Murray and him would have probably worked well together. Although,
but I'm
Watson.
I've already said, like Eric Bieniemy in the Commanders. I'm telling you right now, NFC East, put them on notice. Because I will not be shocked.
The one thing you and I align on too there is Sam Howell is going to inevitably be pretty damn good.
Yes.
He'll be good under Eric Bieniemy.
Yes. He should have been a first round draft pick and would have if he didn't come back for his senior year.
Well, you know, he's got a lot of those tools that Mahomes has.
Yes,
He got big, strong arm, can move when he needs to, sees the field well, you know, and he's got a little bit of. I love Brian Robinson in their backfield. Like he's legit.
He's good. He's actually. When did he get drafted, guys? Which round?
Late.
Yeah, I want to say. Yeah, it was late.
Yeah.
And I think,
you know, my boy and I collect sports cards, and we are picking up guys like Brian Robinson for a quarter because I think he's going to be legit. I love the way he runs the ball, and with that offense under Bieniemy, he's going to shine.
And then you go look at the receiving core. They got receivers.
They got the receivers.
Jahan Dotson.
And the defense, they play pretty well.
Yep.
Defense is stout. Yeah, they stout watching. That defense is sneaky, man.
Yes, it is. I'm just saying. The Commanders, I'm just putting it out there.
Their weak link on the,
put them on notice.
in my opinion, their weak link on the D line was Chase whatchamacallit from DeMatha. Yeah, he's their weak link.
Oh, Chase Young?
Yeah.
Chase Young. Hey, what in the world? Like, you would think that this guy will be like a Micah Parsons, like a TJ Watt. You would think that. That is crazy.
No,
I think he's got to get.
He's one of those guys that got paid, Jay.
Yeah.
He does one thing, and then he doesn't do anything else. I think he's got a few other moves, and then I think he'll be okay. But he just does one thing. That doesn't work in the NFL.
I love Sweat on the other side.
Yeah.
Sweat on the other side.
They're good. I'm telling you.
So you guys think with the Commanders, they're not going to sign Deron Payne. You're not going to sign two defensive tackles that
you can't. Money. You can't.
Yeah, ain't no way. Yeah.
They cut last year. There was last year, the year before, that big stud. They cut. He had an $11 million contract, whatever it was. Who the hell? What the hell's his name, Mike? We talked about that.
Ionitis?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Ionitis.
Yeah,
I like him. I like that.
Yeah. You know, Rasheen, who's your sleeper coach?
I'm going with D'Amico.
D'Amico, sneaky. That's
going
sneaky.
with D'Amico's third time's a charm and down in Houston. That's the third African American coach in a row. I think they set I know they set the record, but yes, third time's a charm. I'm going with D'Amico. Defense, I'm going with D'Amico.
Yeah. I think Davis Mills keeps that job, and that they build around that, and then they'll get themselves a quarterback. I don't think though, because he's well enough to manage an offense.
Yes.
I personally, I think he's well enough to manage an offense.
Yep. He is.
And the thing is, like, when you think about that with D'Amico Ryans and Brock Purdy, when you have Brock Purdy, they have a machine over there. Yep. You don't have to have the quarterback put the ball in the playmaker's hands and make plays. Run the ball, do the basic things, and I think D'Amico Ryans is going to take that to Houston. So you're right on point with that.
Yep. Damian Pierce, was he a sleeper pick?
When did he get drafted?
Late.
Stop.
Late.
I know.
That's what I was saying about Brian Robinson. You can find them late, Watson.
You can find them late, but the one that is at the beginning is a stud.
Did you feel that way about Najee?
Hold on.
I'm being serious. Did you feel that way about Najee?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the number one running back coming out. Yes.
Did you feel like the Steelers should have taken him? He was a number one pedigree.
They needed a running back. Yes.
Okay.
He was a stud.
And you had to get it.
When you say the boy from Texas is a stud, was he a stud against Colorado or was he a stud against Alabama?
He's a stud against everybody. Alabama. Go look at the tape against Alabama. Go look at it. Because they almost beat Alabama. They should have.
Let's roll the all 22, baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the kid is ball, and he got speed. Whoo!
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah,
Bijan
Mustard.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you got running backs. Yes, there are a lot of them, but there are only but so many that I call special. You know what I mean? They got that thing. They got that one thing, that wiggle and that go.
So Watson,
don't have it.
So Watson, you feel good about giving a running back a second contract? Carrying the ball 25 times, like you said, you feel good about giving a running back a second contract?
No, that's different. That's different now. That's something different. I'm talking about a rookie. You're getting a rookie, and you get him for 5 years because he's drafted in the first round. after that, you see where he's at.
Okay. Hey.
You get 5 years for the rookie.
I got the stats
And
right
that's
here.
about the running back. It's about 5 years.
He was a stud against Kansas, but he had 50 yards against Bama. He had 30 yards against TCU. I need you to show up in the big games, man. I don't need you to show up against Kansas. All I'm saying.
Okay, you. I tell you what, when he lightened folks up on Sundays, we talking about it.
Hey Hill, I need to see highlights, lowlights. I need all that.
We'll revisit. We will.
It's not Ricky Williams. I promise. It's not Ricky Williams.
Yeah, we will revisit. Hey, I saw that, Mike. He'd be okay today, though. Him and Martavis, they would be okay today.
He's in a boat somewhere in California.
This weekend. Oh,
our last segment here tonight, man. I want your top 5 power rankings. Quickly, Terry, give them to me.
I'm going to go with the Eagles, Niners, Chiefs, Bengals, and Bills.
Mike?
I got Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers, Bengals, Jaguars, top 5.
Watson?
Well, obviously the Chiefs. I got the Eagles. And then after that, the Cincinnati. And then after that, it's just kind of Okay. I mean, there's several of them that kind of fit right there.
Okay.
And they can't, they're right there. But
Rasheen?
those 3 are the top 3 right now.
Rasheen?
Yeah, I got Chiefs, Eagles, Niners, Bills, Bengals.
Okay. Jay?
I got Chiefs, Eagles, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and the 49ers. That's what I got right now.
Interesting. And I'll give you mine in this order. KC, Cincinnati, number 2, Philly, number 3, Frisco, number 4, and Buffalo, number 5. Be aware of the Detroit Lions, man. Be aware of the Detroit Lions. They're coming for you.
Real.
They're coming for you.
That's sneaky.
Hey, Jay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. You good, baby. You good.
No, I was just going to have you share your social media stuff. Tell everybody where they can listen to you, see you, all that stuff.
Hey, y'all can find me on JC Cowboys Network on YouTube, TikTok. I'm going to get a Twitter soon, but Facebook, I've been booming, man. We've been going through it. We've been hitting this thing hard. We've been hitting the ground running, trying to be creative, man. Dynamic content. It's been awesome. So, yes, man, y'all can find me, JC Cowboys Network, man. We talk about all football, all breakdowns on all teams, and we keeping this thing wide open, baby, man, trying to get creative with this.
Noobs, where can we find you at?
On Twitter and Instagram at Coach Noob.
Excellent. Young?
Instagram, Twitter, One Young Terry.
Excellent. Waddy?
Twitter at Coach K Watt.
There it is. That's where you find them. And Rasheen?
Gene Hill, I'm easy. Facebook, Instagram.
Perfect.
Easy.
Hey, you can find us everywhere. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube. We're on the Let's Talk Sports Network. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and we do some TikToks. The Original Sports Podcast with Mark Maradei, the BS crew, and thanks to our special guest tonight, Jay Colbert, JC Cowboys Network. We really appreciate having you on. Hope to get you back on the show and do some work with you again real soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. This was great, man. This was great.
Thanks
I'm gonna call this the barber. This is the Barbershop Network Roundtable.
And it was.
The
Barbershop Network Roundtable.
The sad part is I don't think anyone has hair on this group, do we?
Noobs has hair.
Yeah, but I like the link. I like the link.
Terry's giving you a little bit something.
It's good energy, man. It is good energy.
Yes, sir. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us.
All right. Y'all. All right, see.